this is the very first possession of the game, right? Only 15 seconds in to Wemby's debut, right? And we could already see the impact that he's going to have on an NBA floor. So 22 coming off this handoff, right? And this is something San Antonio guards are going to see a lot of, which is the player that's guarding Vic is only going to stunt and get back out anytime Vic slips. So this means that they got to maintain their drives and really go on and attack the gaps that they see and not get fooled by the bait. And now right here with Vic. ISO work low, ISO work early on, right? But then from a defender standpoint, if you let him do that, he's going to cook. You got to get up into him. But now on Vic's standpoint though, right? Now if Wemby's able to go and attack on these drives and be strong enough to consistently get through these bumps, he's going to be able to get himself to angles that the defenders can't reach because he could stride to angles that defenders can't step to be able to recover to. And so he got himself to a good spot right here, but just missed that layup. Now right there, that's a tough block by Vic. Tough block. But right here, this is what I really want to emphasize right here with Vic. This right here is going to be extremely difficult to guard if Vic gets out and he leaks. Because they ain't do it this time. But if you throw that ball up, who will be able to get that ball jumping from a stationary position? No one's touching that ball, and then he's able to go straight up too. So that alone is a threat. And boom, this little 2-man at the top set. And the thing with Vic's passing too though, right? This is something I don't think y'all notice, but his length helps his passing. So boom, realize this, right? Handoff, drives tween cross. And Vic has an 8-foot wingspan. So if he gets himself to spots like this, to where he doesn't have a direct angle, he could just extend his arms and find a new angle and wrap that pass around like he did right here. And then right here defensively, right? His length defensively, boom. That's a great way to take on that bump and remain fairly vertical. But when players are going to try to attack Vic, it's not going to be as easy as they think to be able to draw a foul. So really notice this, right? When players drive and they do this, right? They put their shoulder down, try to get into contact. The way that players get a foul off of this is that they hit him in their core. Now their hands collapse when they try to stay vertical. But with Vic, you will hit him, right? His hands may come down, but since he's already so high up, you also have to get high up as well to get into his hands, because that's how you get that foul. So it's going to be a little tougher to be able to get that. And on top of the fact that he's good at being able to take on that contact and stay vertical, it's not as easy as they think. So boom, Wemby gets a switch with Brandon Miller, right? Tries to go to work from this post, right? Boom, tries to get these bumps, but doesn't get really anywhere with it because he's out of control for this reason though. Now Wemby gets a switch, right? And he's going to try so hard with these bumps to get good low positioning that as he enters the gather to get into a shot, he's going to forget to protect the ball. And now Miller's able to get that strip because the ball is right in the middle of his body and in reaching distance of Brandon Miller. So Wemby has to realize that trying to play bully ball, trying to put your shoulder down to players is not your forte because you're just skinny. You don't have the muscle. So he's got to learn how to play in these situations and use angles, use footwork so that he can get to where he wants to and not try to work so hard by using his strength, which he doesn't have much of. And now this right here, notice Vic in that right corner, right? Lift, catch, goes and attacks. But this is where Vic really must get better at. Now Vic, right? This is where his tall frame and lack of size is really going to hurt him. Because when he drives like this, he's already so focused on the amount of contact that's coming from his primary defenders. So he's going to drive and only focus about that. But now help defenders are going to come over. And that's where the ball's going to be able to get stripped like it does right here. But now Vic has got to be able to add to his bag and learn how to use ball pickups and be able to get stronger so he doesn't have to worry about just that primary defender. Now, boom, back screen by Vic. We're going to talk about his screen in a little bit. But this is where Vic cannot hesitate because Vic is 7'5". There's no need to hesitate when defenders are just too short to be able to contest your shot up top. And so notice how this really throws off his rhythm, right? When he hesitates. Notice how he gathers his feet, right? Boom, catch. Foot's about to step in. And now he pauses. Now going into your shot, you lose the rhythm and the momentum of your feet so you could get into a smooth, fluid shot. And now he takes that, pauses, misses that shot short. But if you had your legs on that one, could have went down. Now right here, Vic bringing it down the floor, right? Right here, like I was saying, he's so worried about the player that's in front of him that he doesn't even worry about the help defenders because he doesn't have enough size to be able to forget about the player that's primarily guarding him. And so now they got the foul, but still, you're going to see this a lot out of him. And it's going to lead to some bailouts too. But you won't get bailed out all the time, I can tell you that. Then Vic gets into the paint. Right there. This is something that Vic, I think in time, is going to be able to get through because we did not see him play with the good poise last night. So you saw him get to some of his spots, right? Boom, gets into the paint. You got a whole 3 seconds. Puts the ball down as soon as he catches, tries to get into a shimmy, gets off balance and slips. But you just got to get to your shot, keep it simple. He's got to have some poise to him, and I think he's going to develop it and get back to it like he did when he was playing in his other team, just in due time. So let him get some reps and get used to this style of play. And now right there with screening, like I told you a couple plays back, we're going to talk about the screening. Because that little one screen changes the outcome and the type of result you could get out of this possession right here. And it could really stop them from having to take a 4-step sidestep 3. So playing the 5 in offenses, you're going to have to be able to hit when you set these screens. So now it can help your teammates get open. But if you do not screen, it's not only going to hurt your teammate because they don't get open, it's also going to hurt you because you won't be able to get open because of the gravity that they get from being open. And it's going to hurt your team in ways like it did right here, where the play is going to be broken. You're not going to be able to get a quality shot off through the flow of the offense. And you're just going to end up having to force something up like they do right here with Vic. 4 on the clock, takes a side step. At this point, Vic's jumper is not smooth like that yet to hit these type of shots right now. And now right here, this cut right here kind of told me a lot about Vic, just a little bit about Vic, right? So gets the handoff, teammate gets in the paint. He could have just stayed on the outside and took a spot up 3. Forget about getting to the paint, taking on contact, and risking himself getting injured. But he still decides to make this cut. And now he gets a foul. And now you see Vic fall sometimes, but he actually is able to fall somewhat properly, and it doesn't look too bad. So I don't get too worried when Vic falls. Now right there, you know, so many variables about that play that just made it way tougher for him, and he got bailed out once again. Like I was saying before, it's already tough for him to get through one defender because he doesn't have the strength. So now you're going to try to not only get through the defender, but also change direction through contact. You just need some more muscle. He needs muscle in lower ranges so that he can be able to make these moves and find his angles. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. And then watch how his game's going to hit another level. Ah, man, Vic with the mismatch, right? He's got the mismatch. They got a somewhat quality look off. But how do you exploit that mismatch? So realize this. Got the switch, smaller guard, right? And now you got the smaller guard, but you do not want to post up from the middle of the floor because now if you're trying to make a play, you can only see half of the floor. And since they're a smaller guard, you do not want to attack so far away from the rim, facing up off the dribble. So what you got to do is give it up to a teammate, reestablish your position in the mid-range, get your catch, face up like Joel Embiid does from these ranges, and then you could go to work. Whether it's off the dribble, you shoot over the top, you make a play, whatever it is. And now you'll actually be a threat, and that's how you can consistently get a good look from a set like that. And I went beyond the catch. Kai Jones jumped that quick, but he's also got to do this. It's again with the contact. If you're going to pop out and make a catch, you got to make sure you dislodge the player. All it takes is a simple step, nudge, pop out, show your hand. Now you're making your catch. You don't got to worry about nobody jumping the lane. And it works at every single level, regardless if you're skinny, regardless if you're short. It doesn't matter. It's going to work. But players just don't do it. But that's what you got to do to prevent players from jumping lanes. And then right here, welcome to the league, Vic. And let me tell you exactly where Vic went wrong. You know, players in the NBA's athleticism are beyond that of players who are overseas. So Vic's got to be aware of that, 1. And 2, a lot of these screens are going to be slips just to get right behind you, especially in this drop coverage. And that's exactly what Kai Jones is about to do. Boom. Barely touches on that screen, and guess what happens? Hard roll by Kai Jones. Vic turns and does damn near a whole 135-degree turn. Jumps and gets put on the poster. He made that whole turn. Notice how much he turned. Facing the ball, turns, steps, and tries to jump, but so athletic that by the time you try to jump for that ball, you're cooked. And now Vic guarding Brandon Miller, right? I like the fact they actually had him guarding Brandon Miller. But boom, right there. A little double move, hit him with a hezzy. But notice why Vic actually jumped on that, even though he has a length advantage. So with this move right here, right? He hits him with this first snatchback, right? And this isn't quite enough space. And so Brandon Miller's about to hit a second move, which is going to make Vic say at this point, oh shoot, he created enough space, and now I got to close up this space because he could be able to shoot this and knock it down. But boom, hits him with the hezzy, gets by, gets a foul. Could have been a nasty highlight had he not gotten fouled. And right there with Vic. You try to double clutch jump when Vic is in the air, you're done. You're going to get your shit sent. Straight up. You can't double clutch. The only person I would want to see try to double clutch in the air with Vic is Ja Morant after he comes back from a suspension. So, who do y'all think going to win that jump? And then right there with Vic. It's just indecisive. It's purposeless. And now it's going to put him in a point in which he's going to force up a shot anytime he gets the ball. So really notice those dribbles right there on that attack, right? Or if you even want to call this an attack, I don't know. But notice, right? Gets the matchup. 2 purposeless dribbles. You dribble with no purpose, you're going to get nowhere. And it's just look like you're going to get locked up. But I know Vic is capable of actually getting to his spots and knowing where he wants to get to. He just has to get used to his game and the type of defenders that he's seen. And then boom, right there. That poster you could also credit for Vic's gravity. Because realize this. Boom, ball's on this wing. Big right here, staying attached this whole time because Vic is a perimeter threat and you're not going to play too much help off of him. So that ball gets swung, pick and roll occurs, and Vic's defender is late on this rotation, which leads to his teammate getting the poster. Then boom right here, Vic's about to set the screen, right? And finally, his teammates made some gravity. He gets a clean look. But damn, Vic, just let him get some gains under his belt. Allow him to get the nerves out of his system. And once he starts playing his game, you're not going to see him breaking so many threes like this because all these looks were clean looks. Now, boom, right here. Finally, gets a look off late game, 3 minutes left, gets an and one. Maybe that'll calm some nerves. You'll see how we adjust in games going forward if they do decide to play him, right? If they do decide. Then once again, why try to turn your back when that's not your advantage that you have? I know you want to kind of just go to work, but realize what you always have at all times. Hands are in his pockets. Hezzy pull up. Trust your jumper. I've seen him do this so many times and we all have. So why not just keep it simple, get over the top because those looks are going to barely even be contested. Or just start developing your hezzy bag because a person like Kai Jones, he could jump out the gym. So he sees a little hezzy, he's going to pop up like a Pop-Tart in a toaster. Now, boom, you get your drive. Once again, trying to get to work. You gotta dribble with some purpose. But it seems like he might be a little too tired, and that is Vic's night right there. And that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on notifications. We dropping a ton of Summer League breakdowns, EYBL, AAU breakdowns, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you go hit the links in the descriptions, go follow, check the live streams out, and we out of here.